basics, getting to know your car. The driver must know what are the basic components in the car: the body, chassis, the engine, the transmission system, the braking system, the wheels, other auxiliary systems. How these components work together in order to keep all these parts maintained in good condition for the safety of drivers and passengers. Driver's manual. Most car owners ignore the driver's manual and simply expect the car to take care of itself, or expect technicians to take care of it. To keep your car safe, comfortable and environmentally sound, you will need to have it serviced at regular intervals. If you do not follow the manufacturer's recommendations, you may end up with a large bill for repairs. Use your sense. If you hear noise emanating from the brakes or the engine while it is idling, it is an indication that there is a problem. In terms of seeing, there is the instrument panel on the dashboard, the condition of the tires and fluid levels under the hood. You can also feel vibration in the car as a shock or a jerk. When you are shifting gears, you may feel it when you are traveling at high speeds, or you may feel a vibration in the steering wheel when you brake. A fuel leak can be detected by the smell. Vehicle components. The engine, the powerhouse of the vehicle, is usually mounted at the front and runs on petrol, diesel or gas. Most passenger cars run on petrol. Although other types of fuel do exist, most are still in the experimental stage and are not in common use. Lubrication system. Lubrication reduces friction and prevents the parts from wearing down. Cooling. The oil absorbs the heat and radiates it to the outside, cooling the engine down. Sealing. The coating of oil between the cylinder walls and the piston seals the combustion chamber to prevent any leaking or loss of power. Cleaning. The oil washes the sludge and soot that stick to the interior surfaces of the engine, keeping it clean at all times. Check the oil with the dipstick and top it up all times. Change the oil and oil filter as instructed in the driver's manual. The cooling system. Coolant prevents rust inside the engine. The basic parts in the cooling system: how it works. A coolant liquid of glycol and water also helps prevent rust inside the engine. An engine running at the correct temperature will also save fuel. What to do if the engine overheats? Top up the radiator with warm water, as filling a hot radiator with cold water can easily crack the cylinder block. If you need to add water while the engine is still hot, pour slowly while the engine is running in neutral or park. Fuel system. All cars can run on 95 octane, but some high-performance cars may require 98 octane. Octane numbers are the measure of fuel's anti-knocking performance. For many years, lead compounds were added to petrol in order to improve engine performance. Now, lead is no longer added to fuel after it was found that vehicle exhaust emissions containing lead and other pollutants posed a threat to human health and have long-term harmful effects on the environment. Exhaust system. The exhaust gas emitted by the engine contains carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and nitrogen oxide. The exhaust gases also contain many other poisonous substances that are harmful to human beings and the environment. The converter only deals with toxic and polluting gases. Carbon dioxide and sulfur are still produced and emitted from the car's exhaust. Driving with the boot open may cause carbon monoxide to be sucked into the passenger compartment. If the exhaust is producing an abnormally loud noise, this may be a sign that the silencer has been damaged or has developed a crack. Electrical system. A generator connected to the engine by a drive belt produces the electrical power needed to move the car. If the drive belt is incorrectly adjusted, the output from the generator will drop, and a warning lamp or an indicator on the dashboard will light up to warn you of the fault. If any electrical component fails completely, the first thing to check is the fuse. How to use jump leads. Before jump starting, make sure that the battery of the other vehicle must be of the same voltage as your own. Battery acid is corrosive, which can damage your skin or cloths. Most of the vehicles have maintenance-free batteries. Check that the generator drive belt is properly adjusted. Check that the battery cables are securely connected. Check the charging control lamp while you are driving. Useful to have handy in the car: fuses, jump leads, fan belt or generator drive, extra bulbs. Front lights. Full beam headlights used on the dark roads. Dipped headlights used in cities and well-lit roads. Parking lights used in stopped cars. Indicators used to show the direction of the turn. Fog lights used only the visibility is poor, as in fog or heavy rain. Auxiliary headlights used only with the standard headlights on full beam. Rear lights. The rear of the car must be fitted with tail lights, 2 red. Reversing lights, 1 or 2 white. Brake lights, stop lights, 2 or 3 red. Registration plate lights, 1 or 2 white. Indicators, 2 orange yellow. Rear fog lights, these are not always standard 1 or 2 red. Rear fog lights can sometimes dazzle the driver behind you and can be mistaken for stop lights. Only use the rear fog lights in thick fog, heavy rain or other similarly difficult weather conditions. Rear reflectors, 2 red. Instrument panel, the visual aids. Brake condition, brake pad wear or low brake fluid level warning lights. Oil pressure, often red. This shows if the oil is dangerously low or isn't circulating as it should be. Ignition warning light, usually red. If this comes on when the engine is running, it shows if you have a problem with the electrical charging system. Temperature gauge. High beam indicator light, usually blue. Parking brake on a warning light. Rear fog lamps indicator light or warning light. ABS warning light. Airbag warning light, if the airbag system is not in function. Fluid low, for windshield wiper. Seat belt warning lights. Transmission system. When you press down the clutch pedal, the engine is disconnected from the transmission system, and no power is transferred to the drive wheels until the clutch is re-engaged. Manual gearboxes may comprise 5 or more gears, each of which is used for a specific speed range. Automatic gearboxes are very common these days. Brake system. The main brake system is a dual circuit type which may be designed in such a way that both front wheels and one rear wheel are included in each circuit, so that should one circuit fail, the other will still be working as a backup. A servo-controlled braking system is a booster which reduces the pedal force needed for better effect. Brake fluid. Before setting off, make sure the brakes are acting equally on all 4 wheels. Before test braking, make sure there is no one on the road behind you. Never attempt to use engine oil instead of brake fluid. The importance of tires. Make a habit of checking the air pressure in your tires at regular intervals. Each tire has a date code embossed on its sidewall, so you can easily check the age of your tire. Do not try to save money by purchasing cheap tires. The tires. The main tread of a new tire is about 9 mm deep. By the time the tread is worn down to about 3 mm, the tire has started to lose its grip of the road. So, check your tread depth with the tire gauge. Steering system. Never attempt to use ordinary engine oil instead. Don't drive a car if the power steering system is faulty. Bear this in mind if ever you need to be towed. Steering system defects. Wrong wheel alignment is the main cause of excess wear and tear on new tires. It is important to routinely check your alignment if you want longer tire life. Wheel balancing is also crucial. If your tires are not balanced, the car wobbles, and, once again, unbalanced tires cause greater wear and tear and shorten the life of your tire. The faster you drive, the hotter the tire will get. Tires wear twice as fast at 120 km per hour. The steering system forms a crucial component of the driving experience and needs to be studied with care. The system is comprised of the steering wheel, gears, linkages and other components used to control the direction of a vehicle's motion. There are 2 basic types of steering systems: power steering and manual steering. Manual steering requires the driver to turn the wheels of the vehicle using only his or her own strength. In contrast, power steering uses energy from the engine to amplify the torque that is applied to the steering wheel when it is turned by the driver. This makes turning much easier and increases the amount of time the driver has to react to an emergency, providing a safer journey. Never attempt to drive a car with a defective power steering. Although the wheel can still be turned, the steering is so heavy that it would be highly dangerous to take the car out on the road. Bear this in mind if ever you need to be towed. Driving on the curb or into an obstacle on the road may force the front wheels out of alignment or cause unnecessary wear on the steering system. Faulty wheel alignment results in a tendency for the car to pull off to one side of the road and for the tires to wear unevenly. Poorly aligned wheels also cause vibration, which, by subjecting the tires and steering to extra wear, can lead to an undesirable degree of play or looseness in the steering system. Careless driving on bad road or off-road driving can also cause damage to the steering gear. If the steering feels unusually heavy, or the car has a tendency to drift off to one side on a straight and level road, there may be a fault in the steering gear, or one of the front tires may need more air. Economical style of driving. Have your car serviced at regular intervals. Make sure your tires are inflated to the correct pressure, as per the driver's manual. Don't idle your engine. Change the gear as quickly as possible. Accelerate in each gear until the engine speed reaches around 3000 RPM. While accelerating, in each gear until the engine speed reaches around 2000 RPM, and depending on the topography of the road, use fifth gear whenever possible. Before you reach an intersection with a traffic light, or if you see that the car in front of you is going to turn, reduce the speed by using the engine. Driving with heavy load. The car fully or heavily loaded will also take longer to overtake. The braking distance will increase when driving downhill. If you are in any way involved in an accident with a vehicle displaying a hazard warning, extreme caution is imperative. Pulling a trailer. Make sure that the load is placed properly inside the trailer. Make sure that the trailer is properly connected and the load is secured. When pulling a trailer, the driver should make sure that the load is placed properly inside the trailer. How important is to make sure that the trailer is properly connected. You will need a license in order to pull a trailer. Some drivers may not be aware that this license is necessary when a trailer is hitched to a vehicle or when driving with a heavy load on board. You will find details of permitted trailer loads in your driver's manual, along with the maximum tow bar download that the vehicle can pull. Consult your driver's manual to determine the maximum safe loads permitted for your vehicle and the proper distribution of that load. Vehicle inspection and registration. Registration certificates must be carried in your vehicle. If your car fails the VIC tests, all faults must be repaired without delay. Until they are, your car will not be considered roadworthy and should not be driven. Vehicle inspection centers, VICs, will provide you with number plates and a registration certificate. If traveling abroad, depending on the country, you may be asked to produce an international driving license. Automobile clubs operating in the UAE issues international driving license. Motor vehicle insurance. A third-party insurance provides financial cover for bodily injury and damage to other people's property. Third-party insurance does not cover damage to your own vehicle, the insured, first party, or any load you may be carrying. As a rule, sports cars are more expensive to insure than ordinary everyday models. Thank you.